Hi everyone, I'm Taylor and welcome to the Tribe Life's 30 Days of Yoga Challenge. Today is day 6 and I'm so excited that you're here. For day 6, we're gonna just continue with the flow, right? The first week is warming up the body, getting used to moving it in different ways than maybe you've ever done before. So we're just gonna continue going with that. So keep the momentum strong. Day 6, let's go. Okay, so once you lay out your mat, we're gonna start in a child's pose for today's class. So big toes together, separate the knees so they're about mat's distance apart. And then we'll just press down to the ground, reaching the arms and the head, the forehead down to the ground. Just working to lengthen the spine here, and as we're reaching forward with the hands and the head, we're grounding back through the hips. And start to tune into your breath here. Starting to breathe, taking deep breaths into your lower back, your hip area, the back of your ribs, just creating space where maybe there wasn't before. Checking in with your body, noticing any tension, and also with your thoughts, noticing if any particular thought is stuck on repeat in your mind. Or maybe you're planning your to-do list for the day or reminiscing about what happened today. So whatever it is, just letting it go, creating the mental space as well. And then finally, thinking of your intention for class. So from day 1, if you had a specific intention you're working to work on and get clarity on through the 30-day challenge, bring that to the top of mind and in your heart. Otherwise, if something else is speaking to you, you can bring that as well. So taking a few more breaths, just centering ourselves as we arrive on our mat. And then looking up, we'll slide our hands over to the left side, again dropping the head down, reaching the hips back, feeling the stretch on that right side body. And rising up, bringing your hands over to the right side, pressing down, feeling the stretch on the left side body this time. And then back to center, we'll rise up onto all fours, coming to cat-cow. So making sure your palms are under your shoulders, knees under the hips. And as we separate our 10 fingers, spreading nice and firm on the ground, we're working to drop the belly down, so rotate the pelvis down, reaching through the top of our head, and with a slight gaze up, wide across the shoulder, the collarbones, shoulders back and down. And then dropping the head, rounding the spine, rotating the pelvis, pulling the navel in, separating your shoulder blades up on your back, just pressing up to the sky, pressing in your palms, dropping the head, the gaze is back at the navel. And then again, dropping the belly, rolling the chest forward and up, wide across the collarbones. And then dropping the head, rounding the spine, arching the back, separating the shoulder blades. And then releasing it down. Flipping your toes under, we'll step back to plank. Holding this here for a breath, so really reaching through the top of your head and back towards your heels, engaging that navel. We're lifting, pressing into the palms, and then pulling the navel up, lifting the hips up and back, coming to downward facing dog. Walking out the dog here as we warm up the body, breathing and moving into this pose. Coming back to center, lifting up on the balls of your feet. So lifting the heels and then slowly rolling forward, coming back to plank. Again, pressing through the heels, staying lifted, engaging the abs. And then again, inhale, lifting the hips up and back. Coming back to downward facing dog. Again, walking out the heels. And then we'll inhale, lift that right leg up and back, bending the knee, opening the hip, feeling that stretch there, then re-squaring the hip, stepping that right foot forward, rising up to warrior one. So lifting up through the chest, squaring the hips forward, grounding through that back left foot, and then bringing that right arm under the left. This is called eagle arms. So keeping the elbows lifted, shoulder height, pressing the palms away from your face, and there may be a slight back bend here. Feeling that stretch, pulling your shoulder blades apart in the back in a good way, and then releasing your arms, opening up to warrior two. So front heel to back arch alignment, shoulders over hips, shoulders away from the ears, reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Dropping that back arm, reverse warrior, right arm up and back. And coming back to warrior two, straightening that front leg, rotating that right foot. So now your feet are parallel, you're not facing the left side of your mat. Hands to hips, inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, forward fold, bringing the hands down to the ground or maybe on blocks and bringing the fingertips in line with your toes. So we'll take a few breaths here and kind of like a wave feeling. So as we inhale, we're lengthening through the top of the head, and then exhale, folding a little deeper. Inhale, rising and lifting, lengthening, and then exhale, folding. One more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lowering down. And then rising halfway up. You can rotate that right foot forward again, sliding the fingers, framing that right foot, dropping the back knee down, that back left leg down, back knee. And then toe heel that right foot out, closer to the right edge of your mat. Planting that left hand closer to the left side of the mat, you'll rotate over to your right and then take your right palm, pressing it on the inside of that right thigh, not the knee, the thigh, and then we'll come onto the outer right edge of that foot. So we're just working to press that thigh away with a slight back bend, leaning back, just opening the hips here. A different way to do that. You can stay here, or if you want a deeper stretch, you can bend that back foot, grabbing onto the pinky edge of that foot, pulling that foot. So a different kind of stretch. Choosing what feels good. Taking another breath. And then planting the hands, stepping back to plank. Taking your time, lowering all the way down to the ground. Flipping the toes under. Bringing the palms under, actually bringing your hands behind your back this time. Grabbing onto your wrists and bringing your feet together, like zipping them up together. Tops of the feet are down. As we inhale, lengthening through the top of the head, rolling your shoulders back, we'll inhale, just lift the top of the head and the chest. So lifting the upper body up, pressing the feet into the ground, pulling back with your arms. And then releasing down onto your right cheek. Releasing your arms, you can shake out the hips left and right. And again, coming back to center, grabbing your hands behind your back, zipping up the legs. And this time we'll lift up the head and the legs. So as we lift up, lifting the chest, the head, and your feet up, lifting, pulling. Lifting, lifting, engaging your back muscles. And then lowering onto your left cheek. And just shaking the hips out. Planting the hands, flipping the toes. Press back to downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. Inhale, lift that left leg up and back. Bending the knee, opening the hip, And then re-squaring the hips, stepping that left foot forward, rising up to warrior one on this side. So lifting up, hips square to the front, grounding through the outer edge of that right foot. And then take that left arm, bringing it under the right. Eagle arms on this side. So elbows up to shoulder height, pressing the palms away. Maybe a slight back bend here as well. Just feeling that stretch in between your shoulders. And then releasing the arms, opening up to warrior two. So adjusting your feet, front heel to back arch alignment, shoulders over hips, reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Dropping that back arm, reaching the left arm up and back, reverse warrior. And rising back up. Straightening that front leg, rotating the left foot, so now your feet are parallel facing the right side of your mat. Bringing your hands again to your hips as you inhale, work to lengthen the chin and chest, lifting up, and then exhale, fold. Again, bringing the fingertips in line with the toes or propped up on a block. And as you inhale, lifting, lengthening the spine, and then exhale, folding a little deeper. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Rising up halfway, rotating that left foot forward, and then bringing the fingers forward to frame that left foot. Dropping that back knee down, toe heel that left foot out to the left side of the mat. Again, planting that right hand near the right side of the mat, left hand to the inside of that left thigh. And as we're pressing away on that thigh, rotating onto the left edge of that left foot, opening the chest to the sky with a slight back bend. And again, you can stay here. If you want to bend that back knee, you can grab onto that foot on the pinky edge, feeling that stretch there. So a couple options. Taking a few more breaths. And then planting the hand, stepping back to plank, and lowering all the way down to the ground. This time, reaching back, bending your knees, you can grab onto the outsides of your feet. As you inhale, reaching forward, and then exhale, lifting the chest, pressing the palms into the feet into the palms with a back bend here, so really opening the chest. And then releasing down. Again, shaking out the hips. Placing the palms on the ground, flipping the toes, pressing back to downward facing dog. Bend the knees, pressing back to child's pose. And just taking a moment to reconnect with your breath. And then we'll rise back up. You can sit with your legs out in front of you, flex your feet, removing the flesh from your sits bones, sitting nice and tall, and then hugging that right knee into your chest. We'll step that knee up and over the left side, the left leg, planting the right arm outside your right hip, lifting the left arm up to the sky, and then bringing that elbow outside your right thigh, twisting over to your right. Flexing that left foot as you lengthen first to the top of your head and then twist a little deeper. Coming back to center, stepping that right leg up and over, hugging the left knee into the chest, sitting nice and tall, stepping that left leg up and over. So flexing that right foot, you can place that left hand outside the left hip. Inhale, reaching the right arm up to the sky and bringing the right elbow outside that left thigh. Again, flexing that right foot as you lift and lengthen to the top of your head and then twist a little deeper. And coming back to center. Releasing that leg. We'll come into boat briefly. So hugging your knees into your chest and just rocking forward and back a few times. Loosening up the spine. And then maybe the next time you rock up, keeping the feet lifted. So with the shins elevated so they're parallel to the ground, lengthening, lifting through the top of your head and reaching your arms out forward. Engaging your abs here as you lift the chest. And then taking your time, you can straighten your legs out, lowering the chest down to the ground. Hugging the knees into your chest. You can rock from side to side. And then planting your feet on the ground, bringing that right leg up and over. Coming into modified half pigeon. So bringing your arms behind that left leg, hugging your knees into your chest. And as you're hugging your knees into your chest, your shoulders are away from your ears, right? As we lengthen through the spine and still taking that right arm. I love this modification. You can press into that right thigh, pressing that thigh away from you. So that really opens the hips a little bit more as we pull that left leg in and keeping that right foot flexed to protect the right knee. Looking to lengthen through the spine. So the lower back is on the ground as well. And just taking one more breath here. And then you can release that leg, sliding that left leg over so it's as if you're sitting cross-legged. Bringing the arms out to the side. You can lift the hips up, drop the knees over to the left. Shifting the gaze over to the right. We'll stay here for a breath or two. And then coming back to center, undoing that leg, switching sides, so bringing that left leg up and over, flexing the foot to protect the knee and hugging that right knee into your chest. Pulling that right leg in and then sliding that left elbow inside that left thigh, pressing that leg away from you, opening the hips, shoulders away from your ears, and we're lengthening down through the lower back. And then releasing that leg, opening the arms, you can slide that left leg over and then lifting the hips up over to the left, dropping the knees over to the right. Again, staying here for a few breaths for a gentle spine twist. And then coming back to center. Again, hugging the knees into the chest, rocking from side to side. And we'll stretch the legs out. Actually, we'll place the palm and then planting the feet on the ground, knees to the sky, coming into a bridge pose. So placing the arms down on your sides, grounded in the feet, rotating the pelvis up towards your chest And then lifting the hips up as you press into the heels, maybe sliding your arms on your palms underneath your hips, wiggling the shoulders under as you press into the heels, lifting the hips up a little higher. And then lowering the hips, removing the arms. Again, hugging your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. Opening the knees, bringing your arms inside the knees, grabbing the outsides of your feet, and just rocking from side to side. So this is happy baby. And then you can lower your feet down to the ground, letting your feet rock away from one another, palms up to the sky, taking a deep inhale through your nose, exhale out your mouth. And then for the next minute or so, just continuing to melt into the mat. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Reaching up over your head, stretching from your fingertips to the tips of your toes. Taking your time, rolling onto your right side body. Pausing here for a breath. And then making your way up to a nice comfortable seated position on your mat. Rolling your shoulders up and back down your spine. Reaching your arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Thinking of one thing you're grateful for and holding it in your heart. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale to your heart. I always close practice with a moment of gratitude, thinking of one thing you're grateful for and holding it in your heart. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. Congratulations, you just finished day 6 of the 30-day challenge. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a class. If you have any friends or family that you think would enjoy the challenge, share the love. Tell them about the challenge and they can start with us tomorrow for day 7 or start from the beginning at day 1. Thank you, and I will see you tomorrow for day 7.